Hello there. I'm so glad you're with us this Sunday afternoon. This is the Signature Show, and I am Vin Martin Obiora Ilo. Well, yesterday, Saturday, was a big day for the British royal family. At long last, that wedding that everyone had talked about, wedding of the year, came, and it's over now. Meghan Markle and Prince Harry are now husband and wife. It was such a big occasion yesterday, and millions and millions of people were glued to their TV sets as they watched that very ceremonial wedding, and then, of course, witnessed that kiss that the entire world was waiting for. Congratulations to both of them.
First, I am required to ask anyone present who knows a reason why these persons may not lawfully marry to declare it now. Harry and Meghan, the vows you are about to take are to be made in the presence of God, who is judge of all and knows all the secrets of our hearts. Therefore, if either of you knows a reason why you may not lawfully marry, you must declare it now. Harry, will you take Meghan to be your wife? Will you love her, comfort her, honor and protect her, and forsaking all other, be faithful to her as long as you both shall live?
I will.
Meghan, will you take Harry to be your husband? Will you love him, comfort him, honor and protect him, and forsaking all others, be faithful to him as long as you both shall live?
I will.
Well, in Nigeria, the big issue this week is the speech that was made by the IG of police, or the speech that was not made by the IG of police. Well, within the week, we all saw that video that was showing the IG stumbling and stammering over his speech that we were told took place somewhere in Kano. Well, today we'll show you what we saw online that was credited to the IG, and then we'll show you what the Nigeria police came up with later, debunking the earlier video. Well, for you, it'll be what you see and the conclusions you reach. A lot of experts in video editing have talked about the authenticity or lack of authenticity. Some big lawyers have also talked about the facts and the fake news about that speech that purportedly took place in Kano. So we serve you both, and then the conclusion will be all yours. And later on the show, we'll be bringing you an interview we had earlier with the former governor of Abia State, who has continued to move around Nigeria selling what he calls the gospel of the APC. So let's show you the video that appeared online with the IG stumbling and stammering in that purported event that took place in Kano.
I'm delighted to make this remark at the official occasional commissioning of the corporate transmission, intelligence platform of the of the Kano State Command, as it remarks yet another milestone in the efforts of this administration to commission the Nigerian Police Force to make an important, effective, and responsive in the act of policing in Nigeria. On an appointment as the Inspector General of Police on the 22nd June 2016, I promised to make the Nigerian Police Force to a higher level where it would be more accountable, effective, and transition to available with effective,
Well, that was the video online which the Nigeria police discredited and debunked. So now let's show you the video which we also hear came from the Nigerian police, which they say was the true video of the speech given by the IG of Police Ibrahim Idris in Kano.
And it's our effort to curb and restore our ability to tackle criminal activities in the country, especially in the northwestern zone of Nigeria. Definitely with this ability, the Nigerian Police Force will have the capability to transform our ability to tackle our criminal activity in our efforts to tackle crime and criminalities in the northern parts of this country. It's in this issue or these challenges that the Nigerian Police Force is hereby to tackle in our efforts to transmit and ensure the crime prevention capability of Nigerians, especially in the northern parts of the country.
So that was the video that the Nigeria police provided as authentic. The controversy is not dying down soon. But on the show, let's take a break. When we return, we'll bring you our interview with Dr. Ojus Okalu. Earlier, I sat down with Dr. Ojus Okalu and took him up on some national issues. I started by asking him what he has been up to traveling all over the country.
Well, I have been up to playing the music of unity, and I've been able to, at that period I made that trip, it seems that the Southwest were going to get down to nothing, because President Obasanjo just wrote a letter to President Buhari, and asking him not to run, and leverage a lot of things against the president. And the Southwest were already, some of them were already taking this issue very serious. So I thought it was wise to go to the Southwest, explain purely to traditional rulers and community leaders, which I did very satisfactorily for almost 7 days or 8 days I was in that region. And I also spent very good time with the people there and get to know Nigeria more. So I enjoyed it.
So why would you take that trip on behalf of the president?
I'm a member of APC. I'm a friend of the president for almost 20 years or more. And whatever concerns the president concerns me. He's my friend and also my leader of my party in Nigeria. So it behooves on me to make the trip.
But on that trip, did you hear complaints of Nigerians about the hard time they were going through, about how cost of living has become so high since President Buhari came to power? Did you hear complaints like that? Yes. And how did you react to it?
No, the complaints are there. And I told them, yes, the president took over power in the most difficult time. He took over power when it came into office when prices of crude oil were going down. And when we had a worldwide recession, not just Nigeria. So I also find time to explain both to community leaders and traditional rulers. To us, when a country is in recession or when a country misses her step or his step through economic problem, and also President Buhari came in, but when a lot of looting, the central bank was almost opened, and money were taken away without receipts. So I explained to them as much as I can. And I pleaded with them to go back to trust the president and give him another opportunity to be able to refix the country economically by the next election. And which I know the music of APC will be economic prosperity. We're going to look at president will bring the best people to run the economy. President will bring it will be economy. Now president focuses on security, and president is going to focus on the second tenure on economic prosperity, because our problem in Nigeria is not truly political, it's economical. Because Nigerian people are not asking for many things. They're only asking, give us good roads, secure us, and put food on our table. So we need to fight this economic problem that's our main problem since the inception of democracy.
When you say Mr. President has focused on...
Will focus?
No. You said he already focused on security. Yes. Are you impressed? Are you happy with the security situation in the country, the herdsmen, the attacks, the kidnapping, and all the security issues we're having in the country? Does it show a man who has focused on security?
I am not happy, but the man is trying to tackle the problems. No Nigeria will be happy seeing innocent Nigerians dying. No Nigeria will be happy seeing people killing fellow Nigerians, in any name you call it. Nobody born of a woman would like even a soul to die for committing no offense. So nobody will be happy. I'm sure the president himself is not happy. When last year I called attention of security agencies and people, you press people jumped on me. When I said early last year, by then later president went to hospital, and I said that foreigners are invading us from what I'm seeing. Both the security agencies and the media, you people jumped on me. I said, I have come again. I said, people from Libya, people from Mali, people, there are foreigners coming in here. The Boko Haram have taken a new dimension. When they first bombed massacre, the Catholic Church in massacre, I said to the Archbishop, I said, this will leave Catholic Church to be bombing of the mosque. Because it's a trend. And you see, Boko Haram have left the border fight they were doing before, and they are doing spontaneous killing, and in the name of herdsmen. People don't want to, but also the governors, most of them have not done what they're supposed to. That was a governor for 8 years. We had the same issue, and we tackled the issue. So because governors must stand up. They continue to say, oh, president is commander-in-chief and this. Governors must fine-tune a strategy how to work with their brigade commanders, how to work with the commissioner of police, and provide them necessary logistics they need to do this job. And that is the only way we can go. So if people are not focusing on job, I mean, some of the governors have done very good job. I'm not condemning anybody, but I'm just saying that governors should use the necessary security votes available within them and use it effectively to combat these people.
A lot of governors said they've done their bit. They've funded the police operations in the area, the joint patrols and what have you. That at the federal level, they've not shown enough commitment that they want this problem solved. Is there a disconnect between the federal government and the state government?
From what they are saying, there must be. Because President Obasanjo, in any name you call him, he was very effective to listen to all these problems. He might not be very good in other things, but he was very effective to listen. And we fine-tune such solutions. So governors should stand up. I believe governors should not be just complaining all the time, because killing of innocent citizens that have not committed any offense is not right in anywhere. Because the most important thing of being in government is to protect life and properties. These things happen in Abia, and we pin it down immediately, because you can't go further with it. Because without security, the society is nowhere. The most important thing of government is to protect life and properties. That I agree is the #1 thing of any government to do. So the issue where people blame all the blames on either police or the army, they might be right, but the governors have a lot to play, a lot of role to play. Maybe, possibly, most of them cannot define properly what they're supposed to do in terms of security. I was chief security officer of my state. I take no order from President Obasanjo when I was governor. You can ask Abubakar, who used to be Inspector General of Police. He was my commissioner of police. We had a good working relationship. He understands police intelligence. There must be good intelligence of the community. You cannot just be commissioner of police or be governor, you are sitting in your room. So IG Abubakar is alive. You can ask him, you can go and interview him. He will tell you that we put a lot of intelligence on ground in Abia to be able to nab both robbers and people, headlums and all the rest of that. And the place was quiet for the rest of our tenure. The strategy is there, and it could be all things happening today can stop instantly. Mind you, when I came into Abia, the armed robbery was at the height of it. Instability was at the height of it. I told them to give me 6 months. And in 6 months, I started with a commissioner of police called Dudare before he was transferred. Abubakar came. And in 6 months, I nipped it quietly. And the place became a safe haven. Mind you, this is how, because when people start using local security to fight political matters, to fight you because you are in NPP, or because you are in CPC, or because you are in APC or PDP, when you start using security matters to fight opponents, it's the beginning of your failure. But when you use security matters to fight security, you will succeed. For example, I'll give you one example. When I was governor, all the policemen in the checkpoint in Abia received 2,000 naira every day, as long as you are in checkpoint for that duty. And IG Abubakar was giving them that money from my office. I'll give you another example. When I was governor, all the policemen, 3,200 of them in Abia, were insured by an insurance company. So if any of them dies, he's not going to get 50,000, which was Elizabeth's law, for 50,000 naira for his family. One of them died, like a sergeant died, he got 10 million from the wife. ASP died, he got like 23 million from the wife. So you see, when you leave all these Elizabeth laws and face reality, country will be a better place. So, mind you, you are from Anambra, you are from Enugu State, not Anambra. Anambra people wanted to know how we stopped robbers in our place. I cleared them up. People from Warri, from Akwa Ibom, from Rivers, they were coming to Aba to live. All the expatriate, Aba became an expatriate quarters, unlike before. So we made the place conducive for people to live. You need to give a lot to the security agencies to stop. Because a policeman that is going to take 20 naira from you at the checkpoint, which I have given 2,000 naira food allowance for the day, how is he going to take 20 naira and allow an armed robber to pass? It's not possible. This is one. A policeman knows that I have insured him with AIG insurance or with any insurance or patient life, anything you call it. He knows if he died, that the wife is not going to collect 50,000 naira, that the wife will be taken care of with the children. He will put in his best to fight. So
they need to be motivated.
Of course, even in football, you see Yimba Football Club, even in football, the answer of the game is motivation in anything you do at all.
Let's talk about your politics. You left the party you founded and joined the APC. And for a lot of Nigerians, they were a little surprised. But some people, talking about your opponents and probably even some that have been your fans all this while. Some said it was because of your corruption cases in courts, then you wanted to run to APC to run for cover. Was that part of,
Let me tell you, this case had been there throughout Jonathan was president, through of us. He was there, I was in court. The corruption case about me is a fallacy. It's being given robust prosecution and we're giving them robust defense. I'm not afraid of coming to court. I remain the one person since that case started. I've been in court for almost 49 to 52 times the court have sat. I have never missed going to any. So I'm not afraid of being prosecuted. I've said it. What Nigeria is lacking for people to use the instrument of law to be where you're supposed to be. If I'm found guilty, I'll be punished. I'm not afraid. But if I'm not guilty, allow me to go to my house. Because I know within my conscience, I have not done anything that will make me to lose sleep as a governor. Never. No person who speaks the way I speak will do things that will make him to speak. I've never made any deal with no commissioner, no assistant, or anybody. I never discussed money. The only government money I have spent as governor was security vote. Well, I'm not supposed to go into that matter because it's before a court of competent jurisdiction. If I have time to do that, I will address you on that issue. But what should be in your mind? My case, my type of case is political. You know that I fought third term with other colleagues. So I'm not afraid of going to court. I'm not afraid of answering before any agencies. Let every Nigeria, both man and woman, subject themselves to the principle of rule of law. This is what I ask for. And this is what I want the country to have. If I'm guilty, punish me. If I'm not guilty, tell me I'm not guilty and celebrate me.
Okay, if you say that part of your reason for joining the APC is not to take cover, why did you join the APC?
I joined the APC because Nigeria have emerged into a two-party system. Before all these people, ADC and SDP started, the fight was going to be, it's either you are in PDP or you are in APC. And I decided not to be in the party we formed. We formed party. I have no, God had blessed me so much, I have no reason. Mind you, even the PDP we are talking about, if it's a company, I will own 90% of it. Because in 1998, when they were looking for money, I brought the first 500 million to give to the party directly. And I gave for Obasanjo the first 100 million before any other Nigeria put money there. So people who founded the party are now corrupt people. People who didn't come with money are billionaires. They are not corrupt. That is the law of Nigeria. So we appreciate it because Nigeria is a war zone where wherever you turn your face, you become an enemy. So for me, I have no regrets in what I'm going through. You were here. They clamped down on my bank. They clamped down on my airline. They took my oil block, and nobody talks about that. So for me, it's not an issue. And these are things established during the military government. So you are now telling me that I took 2 billion naira because I want to be rich when I was governor. So, I mean, that is something that looked like economics. So say somebody like joke. Let me not talk about this case if it matters. Before you will make me to go for the next sitting, the judge will say you will not go here. You've gone against my court rules. Please.
Now you're back to APC, or now you're in APC, and you made a choice between APC and PDP. And this was a PDP that you funded, a PDP where you served as governor. Are you suggesting that what you saw when you came together with your friends and political associates to form PDP is no longer?
No. Let me tell you. I left PDP in 2006. I have never been a member of PDP till the day I joined APC. I'm sure you know that. That I was deregistered by President Obasanjo. I was deregistered with Atiku Abubakar and Boni Haruna in 2006. I have never changed a political party, and that was the reason we founded PPA. So after 2006, I have never been a member of PDP. The 16th of November 2016, I joined APC. So I don't know. I'm not a going about party man. I have never left my party. And I didn't enter the party I entered the party because the people I handed over Abia say I'm not popular. So I want to use APC and PDP to show who is popular in the state. For the state people to decide. People will tell you APC is Islamic party, is this and that, but they will win Abia. Because I'm going to stand before the party and tell the people, vote for this man. That is what we're going to do. I want a supremacy to say that people I left in Abia in PDP, they are not as popular as I am. That is a test case. That is why I joined APC. So that Nigerians can determine who asks the masses of Abia, this is where you vote, and they will vote there. And that is what is going to happen.
So that leads us to your future. Are you contesting? Are you contesting for any position? Are you just going to campaign for Mr. President?
I will campaign for President Buhari, and I will wait and see for the position I will contest for.
You've not made up your mind?
No. I have not quite made up my mind. Either to go to Abia North Senatorial District, which is most likely on what I will do.
Most likely?
Most likely. It's very high. It's 95% that is what I will do.
Or
I will just follow the president around and go around all the Nigerian places to campaign. Whether I'm running for Abia Senatorial District or not, I will still go around the world and Nigeria to campaign for Mr. President.
But I'm surprised you may likely go back to run for the senatorial seat in Abia after you were not able to win 2 times.
Because they wrote the results. The results are there. You were there as a journalist, and you know I won the election, and they took the result away. Because you cannot do and tell people at 6 a.m. that the election is inconclusive, that will put a date to have another by-election on Aruchuku 1 and 2, and you go back and call results. We accepted it because it's God's willing. So this is the time we will know who the people follow. This is the right time to show. And I'm very, very happy President Buhari talks of transparency. You know, in Anambra, people wanted to rig the election. The president said, no, you cannot rig the election. I suffered it for 4 times. You cannot do that when I'm president. So this is the time people will know who is with the people. Who is the people cannot be hidden. He have showed in Anambra that Obiano is with the people. He showed in Ondo that the new governor there is with the people. It will show in Abia who will be with the people very soon.
But some Igbo followers of yours think by joining the APC that you're betraying their cause.
What cause do they have? They have no cause. If there's anybody who have cause for the Igbos, I'm one of them. I'm a trustee of Igbo Dream and Nigerian Dream. They have no cause for Igbo. I am an Igbo man. I'm trained very well by Hausa Fulani. I started my business with Yorubas. So I understand Nigeria better than most of our leaders.
So are they wrong when they say that the president does not love Igbos? Are they right?
They are very wrong to say that.
Why would you say that?
Well, Buhari might have his own problems about how he behaves. I don't expect Buhari to behave the way I behave. Maybe he's not really a friendly person. Yeah? I'm very friendly. If I go to where Northerners are, I will drink kunu with them. I go to where Yorubas are, like I was on tour, I'll come to any palace, I sit on the floor, eat ewedu with, bole or something with them. When somebody shuts himself from, circulated from too many friends, does not mean he hates anybody. If you deal with Buhari one-on-one, you will know that he doesn't hate anybody. You met him in Igbere many times he was there as a journalist. You've seen him in my house in Igbere. Did he show you that he's a tribalist? Did he show you that he has not anything against the Igbos? Did he ever? And that he did not give us Minister of Finance or Minister of Works does not make him, or Secretary to Government does not make him lose hate the Igbos.
So how do we determine if he loves the Igbos if we don't get these positions that can assist that part of the country?
Without that position, Vin, Buhari is, you are from Enugu State. You know the condition of our roads before. You know the condition. I'm asking you now. Don't you know the condition?
You're the one I'm interviewing.
Okay. The president told me in October 2016 that he's going to start massive rehabilitation of roads in Southeast. They did do it. He has done it. Our brothers who had those positions before were there. They didn't do the work. They did not do it. But when I was trying to enter the APC, I asked the president many times, will you do our road? He said, these ministers are just ministers of Federal Republic. My interest is to do the road. He's doing the roads. He's doing the Niger Bridge. He's doing almost everything that nobody wanted to do. The Enugu Expressway is being done. The Onitsha.
You're talking about one lane being done.
But there is one, we must start from somewhere. All the lanes went bad. You cannot do two lanes simultaneously. Where would the people pass from? They have to do one lane, get ready, the other lane will be done. Now people can drive from Enugu, Okigwe to Umuahia, to Port Harcourt. Before it was, they used to come and pass through Uturu, go to Ovim, turn right to Uzuakole, come out from Umuahia and start going back to Port Harcourt. That was what was being done. But the president is doing 9th mile to Makurdi. They've started rehabilitating that road because I'm very vast. You know, I travel on air, on land, on sea, a lot. So I know everywhere. Nobody can tell me, even like I told the Southwest, I started seeing many roads also the president is rehabilitating. I passed the Ibadan Expressway few months before or few years before. You couldn't pass the road. But today it's an expressway back. So, and president awarded Lagos to Abeokuta, which even President Obasanjo couldn't do as a president. So that road, the massive road rehabilitation, when people say that Raji Fashola is doing nothing, they are not being fair to the man because the man is actively on the road. I can tell you this.
Let's remain with the Southeast before we talk about the entire country. Yes, you said he's doing the roads and all that. Does the president have a problem with working with people of the Southeast?
I don't think so. The president is a very good man because most people...
So why is he not giving them those positions?
Because we have held that position in previous administration. And he needs to try other people. This is a country owned by many people. You were Minister of Finance before. Should he repeatedly give Igbo people Minister of Finance? All our brothers, they gave position before. They didn't do the express road. What we are asking for is not just appointments. What we are asking for is development. Make Enugu a proper international airport. Give us seaport, which was a major problem between me and Obasanjo because I needed a seaport in Ohambele, West local government. So, if you give us the major things, we don't need you a minister. We can create anything. We can create anything life can create. and sustain the economy of the area.
The ordinary Igbo people still have issues about their leaders coming together and, you know, fighting for their common cause. We've had complaints about Igbo leaders all on their own, fighting each other and not achieving anything.
Which tribe in Nigeria have their leaders? No, which tribe in Nigeria have their leaders come together? Which tribe in Nigeria have their leaders come together?
Is there any effort on your part?
No. Which tribe in Nigeria have their leaders come together? Mention one.
Are you suggesting that they should not come together?
No, that is not what I'm saying. I've told you before in interview, in your AIT interview, when you are anchoring AIT interview, that Igbos need more love than success. They need to love themselves more than success. And I still repeat it on this signature program, that my tribe where I come from need more love and more heart to forgive each other than success.
Is it a gospel you're...
According to me.
Is it a gospel you're selling to your contemporaries in Igbo land today?
It's a gospel I'm selling to every Igbo man and woman, not people of my caliber. No, for everybody on the street of Igbo land and beyond Igbo and Yoruba and Hausa, they should know that they need love than success.
You know, when we talk about agitations, like agitations on the part of Igbos, then it takes us to that, I don't know whether I should say, contentious issue of restructuring. Do you think restructuring would make Nigeria better? That it will make Nigeria more united? It will make Nigerians believe more in their country, Nigeria?
You see, whenever you people say restructuring, I laugh. You know why I laugh? Because you are just asking for true federalism. So why calling it restructuring? If you go to one page of the Constitution, there are 63 or 60 something items there. It's just telling me, take some items from this and put this way. This is what is simple. But when you go and speak all this, your bogus English, because there's election coming, people will define restructuring and no restructuring, we get confused. People who are not as exposed as I am will feel you want to divide the country. So just say remove some items on this part of Constitution and put it this way and run a true federal system.
If it's as simple as take from here and put there, why is it so difficult for true federalism to be practiced in Nigeria?
This is what every Nigerian...
Why is it so difficult?
This is why the Northerners are not afraid of that. Nobody's afraid of that. Come to the table and discuss it. We should stop talking on the newspapers. We should ask our representatives to discuss this in the legislative houses. There is no constitutional provision to really discuss this thing out of where it's not supposed to be discussed. We have a National Assembly. Everybody must lobby members of the National Assembly to amend the Constitution on the items on the other side and this side.
But some say that, look, we spent so much time, so much money just before the exit of President Goodluck Jonathan. Can't we take some things from there and make the work a little more easier?
The law, the Constitution of Nigeria do not recognize that thing you did. This is one thing most of our intellectuals and people are. We need to create a new law saying that we are going to do Constituent Assembly, or we are going to do this. We need to create another law in the parliament signed by the president. Or we need to go for constitutional referendum or blah, blah, blah. It has to be a law. But this is why we have the lower and the upper part of the National Assembly. These are issues they are capable of handling and reforming. These very issues. They can sit down as legislators and do it in conjunction with federal and state governments.
Let's talk about the corruption fight by the Buhari regime. Do you think they have a pass mark in the last 3 years?
Yes. Because all outside intelligence communities that are not Nigeria has agreed that they've done a good job. The EU, the Northern America, they believe they've done a good job.
But I'm sure you hear the accusations that when people join the APC, their corruption cases go cold. I'm really surprised that yours is still on, because a lot of people thought that yours would have also died because you joined the APC.
No, it's not true. I don't think so.
But a lot of them are
No, that is not true. It's not true. I don't think so, because I'm having a robust prosecution and we're giving him a robust defending.
No, I said in your own case, we are surprised yours is still.
Maybe you,
after you joined the APC.
No, you journalists are fighting me because you think I want to be. They are still prosecuting me because they think I want to run for president.
But journalists are not the ones prosecuting you. It's the APC government that is prosecuting you.
And I'm very glad I'm being prosecuted.
So, do you think that where a minister of information rolls out names of those he called looters, and no member of the APC has his or her name on that list, you think that is fighting corruption?
Well, I am not Lai Mohammed.
No, I'm not asking if you are. I'm saying, do you think that that is fighting corruption?
Listen, at any given time, you know that people live in government, and if you don't work in government, they will not probe you. It's only people who live in government last tenure that the APC government are looking after. They can't come to your house. Magu will never knock on your door unless they find your list, your name where money was given. You know, I have been in my case since 2007. So it's a robust prosecution, and they're also having the robust defending. I'm not afraid of going to court. What I always say is that it is a time our judges must stand up to say the truth. And some of them are standing up to it, because some of the anomalies committed, some of the judges are ratifying it and saying, no, this is the position of the law. For example, I give you the Supreme Court justice. You are not supposed to try a Supreme Court justice without first punishing him through the agency. There is no judge in this country that's supposed to be punished by EFCC or by DSS, except that judge had been found guilty by agency. And once agency is done with him, you can arrest him as DSS or EFCC or anybody, or any name you call it, or police or anybody. So you cannot just go and burden a judge and put in the court.
What that shows is that you agree with a lot of people that have accused this government of high-handedness, you know, jumping.
No. Sometimes the government is trying to fight corruption, and they are not sent by anybody. They are not sent by Buhari.
In a lawless way?
No. They're not lawless way. They first are, because they might have complained, and these people say, no, let's arrest him. And arresting him, the lawyers in the departments did not look properly what the law says. So I don't think you can, the judges should stand up. They have a role to play. The judges have the biggest role to play, because if you have a corrupt judge, it's worse than an armed robber. Because the role of the judges is very, 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 very essential in our society. People continue asking, why do I say this? Why do I say? The judges can only stabilize the society when they can look at President Buhari and say, this thing you did is wrong. And I also encourage President Buhari, he must obey the ruling of any court, no matter how bad that ruling is. Go to court of appeal. Go to the next, if it's a magistrate court, go to an appellate court to appeal your decision.
Let's go back to Abia politics.
Yes.
You've joined the APC.
Yes.
Are we going to see an APC governor elected in 2019?
Most likely, yes. That is what is going to happen.
What would you showcase to to convince Abians that they should vote the APC?
The Abians before cannot pass through Okigwe to Umuahia. They are passing there. I've already showcased it. ADDC have done all the roads in World Bank in Umuahia, all the roads in Abia North, all the roads in Abia South. Some of the roads in Aba are being done by ADDC. Those are things I'm going to showcase. And the federal government are doing a lot. They've awarded some of the most difficult roads we had. Umuahia, Bende, Ohafia to Aruchukwu. It's APC government. They are going to start doing it. No senator, no House of Rep member or governor of PDP will claim the Fashola was there, and Fashola have gotten a lot of letters from APC members. Mr. President have gotten a lot of letters from APC members telling them the Aruchukwu road is very bad. Very, very, very bad. And Mr. President, in his kindness, said that those Minister of Works should look into that road. And the road is being looked into now.
How do you explain to them the encounters they constantly have with herdsmen, and which, for a lot of them, they feel that it has not been properly addressed?
It has been properly addressed. I was governor. You people should stop causing trouble in this country. It's properly addressed. I don't support henchmen killing people, but you people should stop escalating things that will divide us. Because these henchmen are like Boko Haram. Some of them.
Are you suggesting that
we have lived? Listen, let me ask you a question. You have lived in Enugu for many years. We have Amawusa there. We have Amawusa in Aba. We have been living with these people peacefully. Why did Buhari become president and the killing of people just went up?
That's what we want to find out.
Go and find out how many people came from 1999 to 2003. Go and find out. A lot of people were killed. Obasanjo was hardly in the country. Out of 400, mind you, he fought with Ghani. Out of 400 and some, out of 365 days, he was just here for only 65 days in one of the years. You know this.
I don't think it was that bad.
It was that bad.
I don't think so.
It was that bad.
But when you blame the media for escalating, are you suggesting that when we see these things, we shouldn't talk about it?
No. The media must investigate very well. And the media, like killing Catholic
priests in Benue.
In Benue, it's not right. For whoever did it. Huh? They are not supposed to do that. I condemn it. And somebody asked me, could you say that the Catholic bishops are right? So I say, yes, Catholic bishops are their mind is very open. Where it's open, they have no wealth, they have no employer, they pay salary, they have no home of their own, they have no wife they are keeping at home. So the only thing they have is to speak the truth. I want somebody to say, oh, this Bishop Kuka can talk down. I said, no. If you listen to what Bishop Kuka or Noika or Ugoji, what they are saying, you see the truth in it. Because they speak the truth. If you are a leader, you must accept criticisms. You must allow people to criticize you. You must take the heat. This is why President Buhari, any day President Buhari questions anybody criticizing him, then it will no longer be a friendly president to Nigerian society. A president must have the heat to be tolerant. You must be tolerant to other people's opinion, and that is why we are doing constitutional democracy.
But it doesn't look very much like the present administration is very tolerant with opposition.
They are very tolerant.
Of course, we have, for instance, the Dino Melaye issue. We have the some people in detention without trial. Of course, you've heard about the El Zaki and the demonstrations in Abuja and the arrests.
Listen, I appeared in your program before, where I said, if court says the man you just mentioned should be released, it should be released. If court says Dasuki should be released, it should be released and arrested and put on new charges. The law allows them to do that. But you must obey the court. Whether the judgment is wrong or right, you must take the judgment of the court and go to court of appeal. This is why there's appellate court. This is why there are other courts to listen to you.
Do you think that the media in Nigeria, that they have done a good job? That they have done a good job in protecting our democracy?
Let me be honest to you. Nigerian media is one of the most vibrant in the world. I tell people, despite what you say against the journalists in Nigeria, the media are very vibrant. Very, very vibrant. And I love it. Because the center of any success in the constitutional democracy should be the media and the judiciary. But the media should start doing investigative journalism. Not just every day, oh, President Buhari is in Jigawa and everybody will write the same story. Let me read what is different. Because Nigerian elites don't even read. They don't read newspapers, they don't listen to news, they have no time to do anything. Because most people, once you appoint them into public office, they switch off their phones, they don't answer phone again. How can you not answer phone to answer to people you are serving? So it's also, although our people can be so desperate in calling public officers, and it's not right. They abuse the process. But you see, every person is supposed to read, write, and see what is happening in the society.
Your Excellency, let's end on a lighter note.
Yes.
How do you feel, when you walk around, sleep, wake up, knowing that you are an acclaimed world billionaire, recognized by Forbes? How do you feel?
Those are areas I don't like to answer.
No, we have to talk about it.
So listen,
so that
I want to feel well with all Nigerians should have food on their table. If we genuinely go back to kickstart the grassroots, I mean, the people genuinely who will be in business, well, all these things we are seeing in society will stop. Stealing is motivated by hardship. Theft. All these things are motivated by idleness. I will tell you a story. Last 2 years, we gave a woman from my village 50,000 naira. That woman today came back. One of the judges in Abia can bear witness to what I'm telling you. The woman today came back to show me. She just started. 3 years ago, we gave her 50,000 in Igbere. She came back and said, I want to give you back your 50,000. Just in December, I was shocked. I said, why must you give me back my 50,000? He said, to be honest with you, my money now, after giving you back this 50,000, is 359,000 from the 50,000 you gave me. What did she do? There is a youth service center, National Youth Service Corps center I built very close to my village, between Item and Igbere. And she goes there to sell things. She came to me. Anytime I've been in Igbere, she will come. I dash her 10,000. She came one day with this judge. And we are just joking. He said today she came to borrow money. She didn't come to take 10,000 from me. I laughed. I said, why do you say so? The one I give you is okay. He said, no. Today I want to borrow money. I've seen what I want to do with my money. I gave her 50,000 naira. I called my staff. They gave me 50,000 naira. And 2 years later, she came to Igbere and returned back my 50,000 and told me that she had 359,000. So this is, I can give you another example. There's a woman in Ovim. She says akara there. I used to eat akara there. One day I ate akara with some of my friends. We stopped eating akara. And that akara, I said, how much? She said, she used like 3,000. I gave her 10,000. So the foundation gave this woman 2 years ago 20,000 naira to put her capital up. Today, that woman told me just about 3 weeks ago, I was passing from Igbere to go to see Chief Sabe Jimofo. in Uturu. So I stopped by. The woman told me, do you know how much money I have? And I said, no. He said, my money is now 296,000 naira from 20,000 your foundation gave to me. So people can make a living. It's just the fingers are not equal. People can manage themselves in our society and manage well.
Your Excellency, I must thank you for your time.
Thank you so much.
Always a pleasure speaking with you.
Thank you.
Former Abia State Governor, Dr. Ojuzo Kalu. And that's where we are drawing the curtain on our show today. Don't forget that you can reach us on any of our social media platforms. You can also send us an email. You also can call us. Don't stop writing. Let us know what you think about the Signature Show. Tell us the topics you'd like us to focus on. And please send your comments on some of the things we've done on the show. And until same time next week at 2 p.m., from the Signature Studios in Abuja, Nigeria, I am Vin Martin Obiora Ilo, thanking you for watching.